On this week's episode of Fishing 411 TV, Mark Romanak teams up with avid angler and plug fishing specialist Gabe Dennison, founder of the Yeah Pluggin' Facebook page. Both Mark and Gabe are big fans of the Yakima Maglet plug family when it comes to targeting river run steelhead. It's late November, and the setting is the upper Muskegon River near Newaygo, Michigan. The water is gin clear and fishing is tough, but Mark and Gabe get it done on some impressive dime bright steelhead, using both the popular 3.0 and the lesser known 2.5 plug sizes.
Right there's a fish. There we go. Whoa! Whoa! Catch up, catch up, catch up. There he is. Woo-hoo! Hey, I'm Mark Romanak, and we're hooked up here. A little bit of steelhead action with some plugs. I hope I can hang on to this baby. What a beautiful fish. What a beautiful fish. We're with Gabe Dennison today, fishing on the Muskegon River. And if you haven't heard about the Muskegon, you really need to give it a look-see. It's one of Michigan's greatest steelhead rivers. No question about it. And we got living proof on the line right now. Oh, baby. I love this. Beautiful weather. Big, beautiful fish. And I've already got a kind of a good look at this fish. He's not a fresh one. I think this one's been in the river a while. But what a gorgeous fish. Sorry, Gabe, you had one fish and you had to clear every single line.
Well, just the one there anyways.
So this fish is everywhere.
Is it? He might be a little tangled up.
Well, that's what happens sometimes with plugs, is they come around and that other hook catches them in the side.
He looks like, I'm gonna get these other rods cleared. He looks like a gator rolling out there.
He is doing a little bit of that. Not gaining much line on him here, but we'll just take our time with him. Ooh, baby. Keep that rod down, see if I can gain some line on him here. So Gabe, I'm assuming, we're in the middle of November now. This is just the start of your plug season, correct?
Yes, it's definitely going to be getting better from here until the first of the year.
Well, right now it's pretty darn good in my opinion. Doesn't get much better than this in the way I look at it. Steelhead are wonderful fish. Catch them on a plug and light line on a beautiful day like today is just beautiful. We're gaining a little bit on him here now. Look at that. Come on, Papa. Whoa. Whoa. He's got me in a bad spot here. I'm liking this not at all.
He wants to do everything you don't want him to do.
That's right. I'd like to kid him up here on the side of the boat where you got a fair crack at him. I'm almost to the bead.
That's a nice fish right there.
Almost to the bead here. Let's see if I can get him to come. Come on, puppy. Gabe, nice job, man. Thank you. That is the way to start off a television show. We got to put some fingers on this one and show him off. This is an absolutely stellar fish right here. Now we're talking. Thank you, Gabe. That is a beautiful fish. And maglip,
Yep.
that's no surprise. That color is a surprise. Talk to me a little bit about that color.
That is a Tackle Haven custom, and it's their plug. We bought it. Tyler Adams helped us discover it, and it's been a hot producer ever since. It's a wild color to me, but I believe to the fish, it looks just like gold down there. So
I'm telling you what, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. I hadn't seen that color, so I knew it had to be a custom. That's the one thing about popular plugs is it doesn't take long, and people start sweeten them up with their own custom colors, and that's what we're dealing with here. So.
absolutely.
So what a good hand. We'll get her unhooked and get her back in the water.
This technique that we're doing right here is recently saw a recurrence in popularity, and we're pulling plugs for steelhead, and we're actually trolling, but we're going backwards. We're going to be sliding anchor downriver, and we don't worry about how hungry the fish are. We don't worry about their mood or their behavior. We are simply putting out enough lures in the water to make a little wall of death, and we're walking them down the river, and we're going to encounter fish as we go. And the reason why we don't worry about they're hungry is because they're like drunk guys in a bar. We're going to walk downriver, and we're going to poke each one of them and see if they want to fight. Do you want to fight? Do you want to fight? Do you want to fight? And eventually we're going to find one that's angry enough and mean enough that he's going to take the lure and crush it and smoke that plug right back for us. So, but we, you know, sometimes we'll put out planer boards. This one's a little bit narrow, so today we're not going to do it here, but we're just putting the anchor down and backing our plugs nice and slowly down the current.
Special considerations provided by Eagle Claw, the only fish hooks made in America. Additional considerations provided by Fish Hawk Electronics. Trolling without a fish hawk is called boating.
So there's many different ways that you guys can control the boat down the river. I started in a drift boat. I rode a drift boat for at least 5 to 6 years. I loved it, but I had to switch from time constraints to a jet sled. Boat setup is absolutely paramount. You have to know your equipment. You have to know exactly where everything is at all times. In my boat being a tiller steer, I want everything at hand as close as possible. I've got my trim up and down right here. I've got my forward neutral reverse lever right here, and mounted on just off to the side here I have my anchor switch to control my boat to let the anchor slip downriver. As we're backing our way downriver, I can bring it in, I can let it out just a little bit. It's all right at grip, you know, it's right where I need it to be. The anchor switch is critical for me because I don't want to row, I don't want to push the boat, I just want to be able to stand back here where the captain's supposed to be. And I use the anchor to lift and lower and let the perfect amount of line out, so that way we can just slowly slide backwards downriver, ultimately putting these plugs at the right speed for these fish to take.
There is a screamer. That's a good looking fish. That's a good looking fish. Woo, baby.
That's a big fish, by the way.
Yeah, I noticed when he was airborne.
Look at him down there.
Oh my goodness. Oops. Wonderful. Let me get some rods out of the water here for you though. What a beautiful, beautiful fish. Oh, you are correct. What a gorgeous fish. Oh my God. Oh, he saw me. What a stud fish.
Oh my God.
The plug comes off. Oh my friend. You know what? You had everything, but you got the touch. Right?
Oh my gosh.
So we're going to flesh things out just a little bit. We just lost a monster steelhead. Now that's bad news, but the good news is that Gabe actually called that shot. He picked a piece of water and said that we're going to get a bite here and it's going to happen on this rod. And believe it or not, that's exactly what happened. So it leads us to the conversation of how do you read steelhead water to determine the best places for plug fishing? And I'm going to turn it over to Gabe.
Here in the Muskegon River, one of the best things we like to look for is rock. Rock is our friend. They like to hide in and behind the boulders and stuff like that. And you can see this is a pretty shallow shoreline over here, which means it's not going to be good. But on this side, we have a nice steep bank, and we've got some nice big boulders and stuff like that. Yeah. So these fish are going to be holding right down tight at the bottom of those rocks. So.
Well, I also noticed it's a little bit of a choke point down here too. It's
yes.
getting narrower too, right? So that refines where the fish have to be?
Absolutely. This is one of the most narrow spots in the Muskegon River. It's only about 45 foot wide. So it's got good current, it's got good depth, it's got rocks and steep banks. It's just an all around
And it's
top level spots.
And we only had one good steelhead.
Yes.
I mean, we're going to fish it again just to see if there's anything else there, but what a great fish that was.
Yes, it was a beautiful fish. It's too bad we couldn't get in the net.
Well, we didn't get it in the net, but we got a lot of footage of it fighting, so it had my heart pounding. It's one of the biggest steelhead I've seen in recent years.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
All right, well, let's go see if we can find his big brother. Well, the Yakima maglip has become a very popular plug for salmon and steelhead. It's also very popular for a lot of other trout and salmon species as well. Part of the reason it's so popular is because the family of lures is very large. They actually come in 7 different sizes: a 2.0, a 2.5, a 3.0, a 3.5, a 4.0, a 4.5, and even a 5.0. Now, all of those sizes are not ideal for river steelhead fishing. In river steelhead applications, we're using 3 primary sizes. The 2.5 is very popular for low water. The 3.0 is kind of an all-around bait that works good in many different kinds of flows, and then the 3.5 is a good bait for deeper water or for darker colored water. Those are the 3 sizes. If you're looking to get maglip, they're going to put steelhead in the boat for you.
Special considerations provided by Daiwa Corporation and Motor Guide. Fight fish, not your trolling motor. Special considerations provided by the Ultimate Sport Show Tour, Michigan's elite sport shows. Eagle Claw presents the 411 on fishing.
You know, one of the things we like most about Evinrude Outboards is this auto winterization feature that they have. It's very simple. On the icon gauge, you can bring up the screen that you're looking for. It basically says winterization. Hit one keystroke, and the engine automatically goes into a high idle situation. It's going to last for a minute or 2. And what it's doing is it's preparing the engine for winterization. It only takes a couple of minutes to do. The beauty of it is now it's all winterized. If I don't use this boat for a month or 2, no problem. But if I decide to go fishing again tomorrow, all I have to do is put it back in the water, start the engine, turn the key, and it's good to go. So auto winterization is a great feature, and you can only find it on an Evinrude outboard.
You gotta be kidding?
Eat it. Just eat it, man.
Right
There he is. Get the other one. You caught that. Wonderful. Well, we'll get this one out of the way.
I was.
Woo, baby. That's a little bit better fish than I just had on. Beautiful. Good job, dude. That is awesome.
I seen him slap the rod like 2 or 3 times. He really doesn't want this plug in his face.
That's exactly what's going on. You know, we talked earlier about how these plugs just get these fish fired up, get them angry. And he hit my plug at least twice and then decided to go and eat yours.
Yeah. He went after that copper one just like before. And I can't remember which one that was over here now, but he definitely swatted at yours 2 or 3 times and then finally come over here and hit this one.
I'm going to go ahead and clean this line just to be on the safe side. You got, that's a really high quality fish. So
this run we're fishing right here is what we like to refer to as a boulder garden. It's a nice long run that's just strewn with anywhere from basketball on up to beach ball size boulders, and the fish absolutely love it. They like to hide in behind the boulders, and it breaks up the current down there at the bottom so that they feel very comfortable down there all winter long. So.
And I'm betting too that them plugs are ricocheting off them rocks.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's giving them a little bit of erratic action, and it's triggering those strikes as well. So.
Anytime these steelhead, when they start coming up to the surface, they want to start rolling and slapping on you, one of the first things you want to do is put that rod tip low, get it almost in the water, because it stops them from feeling like they're being pulled to the surface anymore. That's a nice fish.
That's a beautiful, beautiful fish. Oh. Come
These
on, baby,
2.5s have no problem pulling in big fish.
Oh, that was not a good net job. A little closer, dude. Come on, baby. Good job.
Yeah, he's full of
Got a little
sport.
quiet here all of a sudden. Okay, there we go. 2-time is the charm. Woo.
Look at that.
Doesn't get much better than that, man.
No, absolutely not. I just custom painted this plug last night. It's not one that I have in the arsenal yet, and I knew that it's one that I wanted, so did the old nail polish orange fluorescent.
I'll tell you what, custom or not, I mean, this absolutely was all over that. Nail polish, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is your wife missing her favorite color of nail polish right now?
Yeah, that's about what it is too.
Well, I tell you what, that's most excellent. Wonderful fish, Wonderful bait.
Yeah,
Can't be more happy for you.
And it's, you know, a lot of guys think small lures aren't going to catch big fish. This is all of 6 to 8 pounds, you know, and that's what it takes these days. The water is so clear, and these fish are so pressured. When you need something different, you need something smaller, subtle, get in their face and irritate them, and they'll crush it.
No kidding. Well, let's get this one unhooked and get her back in the water. You know, one of the finer points of steelhead fishing with plugs is let's talk a little bit about the hooks that come on these baits. Yakima puts a nice premium hook right on their bait to start with, but after a little bit of use, what you're going to find is that steelhead will torque these hooks and they'll bend them. And once a hook is bent, if you try to bend it back in shape, bad deal, because what's happened when the hook bends, the temper has gone out of that wire. So if you bend that hook back in shape, you're just asking for a big fish to bend that hook out again and for that hook to, for that fish to escape. So what we recommend is once the hooks are damaged, we recommend replacing them. And when it comes to replacement hooks, aftermarket hooks, if you're going to put another hook on a bait, you should put a good hook on it, and we recommend Trocars. Number 4s, number 5s, number 6s seem to be the best size for these baits, for the maglet baits that we're using. The Trocar is a surgically sharp hook, and I'm telling you, they are wicked sharp. Once you put that hook on there, you'll be amazed how many fish that bite end up hooked and in the boat.
Special considerations provided by Trailmaster Boat Trailers and Lakeside Motorsports. Special considerations provided by ProCure, ruthlessly effective bait stunts.
Holy smokes. How did you call that?
It wasn't the big one I was thinking about.
This is a skipper here, but he's sure a fun guy.
Well, I knew there was going to be a green one in that hole.
So this is just a little guy here, but man, it's still fun. They like plugs just as much as the big boys do. There we go. You know, what's cool about that is, you know, over and over to Gabe, you know, Gabe obviously knows his river here. Over and over, he's had runs. He said, this rod's going to fire or that rod's going to fire, and he did it once again. He called the shot and got that beautiful little rainbow there.
Missed our target weight by about 10 pounds. But
that's okay, because we're going to come back 10 years in a row and catch him again.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. Let's talk a little bit about plug colors. You know, of all the fish that we've caught today, we have not had a clear pattern with one color being better than another. In fact, every fish has come on a different color. That's not uncommon, but so you can't say that one color is going to be your go-to choice, but what you can say is make some general choices. For example, the metallic finishes are typically going to be better in clear water. So the metallic chrome, the metallic gold, metallic copper are going to be always good colors and if you're fishing in clear water like we are today. If you find yourself fishing in water that has a lot more color to it, where the visibility is less, bright painted shades are going to be far better in that situation. So the metallics are good in clear water, the painted finishes are good in dirtier water. If you stick to that, you're going to be very successful as a plug fisherman for steelhead.
So we just lost a fish on this copper 2.5 mag lip, and it appears that during the fight the tune got all whacked out, and the lure is now no longer, it wants to run and blow out. It's blowing out one direction, so what we're going to do is you're going to hold the lure, point it at you, get this garbage off the lure, and you're going to take your pliers and you're going to bend that eye opposite the direction that it's running, just a little bit, just enough to put a little more bill on the other side of the eye. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and put that plug back in the water, give it another pull, make sure that you're running in the center, and it looks like we're pretty good right there. The tune of the plug is imperative. These lures, and all lures in general, if they're not running in the center, they're not going to catch fish as well as they're going to catch it if they're tuned properly. And these plugs in particularly, they will almost lose their skip beat action if they're not tuned properly. So you want to make sure you pull them alongside the boat, make sure they're tuned, make sure they're going to catch you as many fish as possible.
Looky there. Gabe's got the hot side here all of a sudden. That's a beautiful thing, man. That is a beautiful thing.
I'm just going to let that anchor tickle and see if we can get back to this fish. Boy, they feel like they keep tangling themselves up. Yeah, he's got a lot. He's running good.
I'm going to sneak in here and take this rod out too, if you don't mind, Gabe. Oh, that's a beautiful fish. All right, well, we got everything out of the water.
I think this one's ready to get net here.
Oh yeah, look at that. Ooh.
Ooh, doing acrobats, trying to right here next to the boat. Here we go.
A little tight on the
Oh,
inside.
he's tangled up pretty good there.
I got it. He rolled in it. Nice fish.
Gator rolled himself right up.
Very nice fish. Gabe, you have put us on some really good steelhead today. I mean, we've had a great time, and we caught every single one of them on plug.
Yep.
So obviously you're a plug guy. I'm assuming you do some other styles of steelhead fishing too?
I do a dabble a little bit in float fishing, but not very much. I'm a hardcore plug fisherman. That's my bread and butter. So.
Well, and I can understand that. Also, you've got a website, or rather, you've got a Facebook program out there that's getting pretty popular. What's the name of your Facebook site?
It's actually called Yeah Pluggin'. We've been running it for a couple of years now, and we've hosted a tournament in December, the first Saturday in December. And there's quite a few followers, and it's just a great place to share information on plug fishing and talk about it and share your day and share your pictures and stuff like that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, we had a great time with this fish. Why don't we share him back to the water? We'll see you again, girl. Whew. What a beautiful fish. Gabe, thank you, man.
No, thank you.
What an awesome day of fishing on the Muskegon River.
Yes, it was. It was a great day.
Closed captioning provided by Lakeside Motorsports, Michigan's premier marine and power sports dealer. Fishing 411 is brought to you by Offshore Tackle Company, Evinrude Outboards, Starcraft Marine, Cisco Fishing Systems, Yakima Bait, Jay's Sporting Goods, Niagara Falls, USA, Smooth Move Seats, Lowrance Electronics, and by Precision Trolling Data.
Underneath the boat won't be good.
I'm maxing this rod out right now.
That's right. You're doing just good. You just take your time.
I'm letting these reels do the work for me. He just slotted it.
Oh, that is a heartbreaker, man. That is a heartbreaker. You always lose all the big fish.
You know what? I have a tendency. I don't even know what to say right now.